Marina Mabrey body checking Caitlin Clark to the ground. J.C. Sheldon all over her. Riding her. Pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye. Oh, man. Caitlin Clark needs to start wearing goggles, folks. Caitlin Clark's going to need to start wearing goggles. Bumps up on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark says, "Get your hands off me." And then here comes Marina Mabrey. Boom! Exploding Caitlin Clark like a safety coming downhill in the NFL. There was no flop there. Marina Mabrey did a straight beeline run.
Pat McAfee didn't hold back. He tore into Marina Mabrey after her brutal hit on Caitlin Clark, calling out the WNBA's complete failure to maintain order. And where's Commissioner Kathy Engelbert? Still nowhere to be found, hiding behind silence while the league spirals into pure mayhem. This incident didn't just cross a line, it torched it. What we're seeing isn't just bad officiating or isolated aggression. It's a full-blown crisis. The league's top star is under constant attack, and the commissioner is doing nothing. The foundation's cracking, and Engelbert's watching it collapse in real time.
You guys do know Sophie Cunningham is a hitman, right? She used to do Taekwondo. In fact, she's a black belt. That's why she had her in the Muay Thai clinch. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to mess with Sophie Cunningham. They brought her in to be the enforcer. I didn't ever think it would be Sophie Cunningham, but apparently she's got mad skills, bro. And she can murk fools. She has the strength of a hyena, bro. I don't know what it is. She looks sweet and innocent, but she will come for your throat, bro. And I'm so excited because Caitlin Clark has someone to defend the throne for her, bro. The enforcer has arrived.
In today's world of performative outrage and pick-and-choose accountability, facts are about as rare as a fair whistle in a Caitlin Clark game. Tuesday night's clash between the Indiana Fever and Connecticut Sun wasn't just another matchup. It turned into a highlight reel of reckless behavior when Marina Mabrey tossed the rulebook out the window. What should have been a normal possession spiraled into a calculated cheap shot, proving once again that, in the WNBA, chaos often replaces competition when Clark is on the court.
Sheldon actually after poking Caitlin in the eye, she walks up to her and like bumps her chest on Caitlin, which is why Caitlin shoved Sheldon off of her, right? That's why she shoved her off, because she's sitting here bumping her chest after poking her in the eye. Sheldon in the wrong the entire time right here, and Caitlin getting her off of her, and then here come Marina Mabrey shoving her. Why? Because your teammate is
The incident kicked off when J.C. Sheldon jabbed Caitlin Clark in the eye during what was initially routine defensive pressure. Clark, embodying the competitive grit that's made her the face of women's basketball, responded instinctively, pushing Sheldon away after the intentional eye poke. That's when Marina Mabrey took things from aggressive to outrageous, abandoning any pretense of sportsmanship and delivering a blindside shove that sent Clark sprawling to the floor. In an instant, a physical game turned into a reckless free-for-all, and the league once again failed to protect its biggest star from cheap shots and chaos.
Gonna win. What's crazy is this incident with Caitlin Clark that happened. So during the game, this is what started the whole. Well, I think it has started before this. They were playing scrappy the whole game. This team's very scrappy. It didn't really change much since Stephanie White left. You know, the new coach is doing the same shit as far as like scrappy physicality. This happened with Cece. So she got hit in the face, as you can see. She hit the shit out of her face. Like, she damn near punched the girl, bumped into her, and then Marina, like, this is crazy, bro. And nobody got
The officials, in true WNBA fashion, spent an excruciating 15 minutes reviewing what should have been the most obvious ejection of the season. Instead of swift justice, fans got a masterclass in hesitation and confusion. Pat McAfee didn't hold back, ripping into the fiasco. "I don't like these cheap shots. She got poked in the eye. Cheap shots can't be happening, and it always happens. Caitlin is a star, a dog, and the WNBA's supposedly on the rise. But this isn't just about bad calls anymore. It's about a deeper dysfunction. a level of systemic failure and selective accountability that feels less like professional sports and more like something out of a rigged courtroom drama.
I don't like these cheap shots, though. She got gouged in the eye.
Yeah, big time.
Gouged in the eye.
It was an intentional eye gouge.
Did you see the fan cam? Smack right
Got
in the
it,
eye.
dude.
Smack right in the eye. Here it is. Boom. Go
Gouge.
back.
She gonna have to wear goggles for the rest of this?
Boom. Right to her eyes.
Some rec specs.
And
Boom.
then she bops her, too.
Then she bops her J.C. Sheldon. And then Mabrey comes in and goes, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I just got poked in the eye."
Rivalry's great.
Yes, I agree. Cheap shots can't be happening, and it always happening
No.
to Caitlyn is certainly going to be a storyline. But with that being said, the Fever know that they're targets.
Yeah.
Caitlyn understands it.
If you are enjoying, please subscribe. What makes Pat McAfee's response so devastating isn't just the righteous anger. It's the surgical precision with which he dismantled not just Marina Mabrey, but the entire corrupt ecosystem that enabled her behavior. McAfee didn't just call out a cheap shot. He called out a system that has systematically failed to protect its most valuable asset, while kowtowing to players whose primary skill seems to be generating controversy rather than basketball excellence.
To wonder if some of this drama with Caitlin Clark is being manufactured. Just to be clear, I'm not saying Caitlin Clark is manufacturing the drama. Obviously, she doesn't need to rely on gimmicks to generate mainstream attention. But the rest of the pretend basketball players in the WNBA, the only way they can generate interest, the only way they can see their name in the headlines is by attacking Caitlin Clark. And I'm starting to wonder if it's intentional.
When McAfee declared, Marina Mabrey, who knocked Caitlin Clark down late, definitely the W, especially if Sophie Cunningham is going to continue to fight people for messing with Caitlin Clark, he wasn't just describing the incident. He was exposing the fundamental reality that Caitlin Clark needs basketball in her own league. The fact that Sophie Cunningham, a black belt in Taekwondo since age 6, has become Clark's unofficial enforcer tells you everything you need to know about the WNBA's priorities. We are watching the systematic destruction of professional basketball's integrity while the people paid to protect it sat on their hands and counted ticket sales.
Definitely the W, especially if Sophie Cunningham is going to continue to fight people for messing with Caitlin Clark, because it feels like Caitlin Clark is going to get treated in a certain way in this league for a long time. She's not a rookie anymore. Okay? She's already proved herself. She's won. And then there were some, ladies last night that were trying to go a little physical. And in last year, I think something we noticed, and I think a lot of people noticed, is when Caitlin would get bullied, nobody would do nothing.
That's right.
Nobody would do nothing. It was like, hey, they didn't know, like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe people are doing this to Caitlin Clark. Teammates weren't jumping in there. They bring in Sophie Cunningham. I had no idea. Sophie Cunningham was a black belt.
The most damning aspect of this entire saga isn't Marina Mabrey's thuggish behavior. It's Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's deafening silence in the face of what amounts to organized harassment of the league's biggest star. Engelbert, who spent 33 years climbing the corporate ladder at Deloitte before taking over the WNBA, has proven that business acumen means nothing when you lack the backbone to protect your own product. Engelbert's failure isn't just professional, it's personal.
Marina Mabrey, by the way, who actually didn't see the play take place. Marina Mabrey, by the way, who actually didn't see the play take place. Marina Mabrey's looking off in the distance. She has no idea what's taking place. She has no idea what's transpiring. All she sees is her opportunity to get her lick on Caitlin Clark. All she sees is her opportunity to say, Caitlin Clark, how dare you come in this league and steal my shine? How dare you? Marina Mabrey took her shot. Right before Tina Charles got there, Marina Mabrey did the job for.
Every time Caitlin Clark gets blindsided, every time the officials swallow their whistles, every time players like Marina Mabrey face minimal consequences for behavior that would get them arrested on the street, Engelbert's silence becomes more deafening. The woman who was supposed to bolster visibility for the sport of women's basketball has instead presided over its transformation into professional wrestling, with worse acting. The commissioner's office has become so disconnected from reality that they upgraded Mabrey's technical foul to a flagrant 2 only after the public outcry became impossible to ignore. This wasn't justice. This was damage control by a commissioner who has lost complete control of her league while refusing to acknowledge the problem exists.
All right, y'all, it's official. The hater, Marina Mabrey, technical foul. Listen, it just got upgraded to a flagrant 2, and she got fined, y'all. She got fined. And then look what she say. Every time they come in, I make money. That's not something that she should be talking about. Making money off of comments? You a whole basketball player.
If Commissioner Engelbert's silence is criminal, then ESPN's Monica McNutt's active campaign against Caitlin Clark is nothing short of journalistic malpractice. McNutt, who has made a career out of turning every Caitlin Clark story into a social justice manifesto, somehow managed to watch Marina Mabrey assault Clark and emerge with the conclusion that the real problem is people paying too much attention to fouls in sports. McNutt's appearance on The Daily Show revealed the depth of her agenda when she complained, "Are we really leading sports with this? Are we really leading sports with a foul in sports?" This is the same woman who has spent months arguing that Caitlin Clark's success overshadows the contributions of other players, but apparently thinks violent assaults on Clark don't merit discussion. The ESPN ecosystem has created an alternate reality where Caitlin Clark is simultaneously the most protected and most persecuted player in sports history. According to McNutt and her colleagues, Clark deserves whatever happens to her because she talks trash as if verbal competition in sports justifies physical assault. This isn't journalism, it's advocacy disguised as analysis, and it's poisoning sports discourse at its foundation.
And then I think the other part too, as Caitlin continues to matriculate through her WNBA career, if you have a mic on her in game, she's a trash talker too. And so I'm okay with competition. I didn't like the play by Sophie Cunningham. I thought the teammates coming to their respective teammate in the first little scrum was okay. I did not like the play by Sophie Cunningham.
Fam, what does trash talking have to do with putting hands on somebody? Trash talking is a part of the game, right? But you telling me just because she's an excellent trash talker and she likes to get under people's skin with her words, that gives you the right to put your hands on her during the game?
The Marina Mabrey incident isn't an isolated event. It's the latest symptom of institutional corruption that has infected the WNBA at every level. Recent reports of referee bribery scandals involving games featuring the Indiana Fever have exposed a league where the fix isn't just institutionalized. According to sources within the league, 3 WNBA referees were fired following a bribery investigation related to a controversial Indiana Fever versus New York Liberty game where officiating was so one-sided that fans demanded a replay. The WNBA's response? A carefully worded statement about integrity protocols, while refusing to address the systemic problems that made such corruption possible. The corruption isn't limited to individual referees taking payoffs. It's baked into the league's approach to officiating games involving Caitlin Clark. Fever coach Stephanie White's frustrated declaration that everybody's getting better except the officials wasn't just commentary on incompetence. It was an indictment of a system designed to fail.
The game has changed so much. Players are faster, they're better, they're bigger, they're stronger. They're as good as they've ever been, they're as athletic as they've ever been. The game is fast now. Things are happening quickly. Everybody's getting better, except the officials. So we got to find a way to remedy it. I mean, you've heard every coach talk about it, so I don't know what the answer is.
In a league that has abdicated its responsibility to protect its players, Sophie Cunningham has emerged as Caitlin Clark's unlikely guardian angel. Pat McAfee's praise for Cunningham wasn't just about her willingness to fight. It was recognition that in a lawless league, sometimes justice requires taking matters into your own hands. Cunningham's martial arts background makes her uniquely qualified for her role as Clark's protector. When she took down J.C. Sheldon with what experts described as a bear hug takedown, it wasn't a basketball play. It was a message delivered with the precision of someone who earned her black belt before most kids learned to tie their shoes. The treatment of Marina Mabrey versus the treatment of Sophie Cunningham reveals everything wrong with the WNBA's approach to justice. Mabrey, who blindsided Clark with an unprovoked assault, received a technical foul that was only upgraded after public outcry forced the league's hand. Meanwhile, Cunningham, who retaliated against Clark's attackers, was immediately ejected and fined. The league has created a system where attacking Caitlin Clark carries minimal consequences, while defending her results in immediate punishment. The message is clear. You can assault Caitlin Clark with impunity, but defending her will cost you money and playing time.
There's Sophie Cunningham, the badass for the Indiana Fever, who is willing to fight.
Sure.
Which we are big fans of for Caitlin Clark. She was also a kicker in high school. Okay.
Oh, wow.
For the brand. Obviously, the kicker is the biggest badass on the court. I love everything about it. Sophie, welcome to Indianapolis. Love that she was a kicker. That's a big ball, too. Hey, that's a good thump. Wow. That's a good kick right there. Obviously, she chose basketball, became a professional. But I love that she stepped foot on the field. The amount of courage it takes. She was a black belt in 6th grade or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, an absolute dog. Now she's a member of the Fever. We're thankful for it.
Perhaps the most revealing aspect of this entire controversy has been Marina Mabrey's complete lack of remorse for her actions. When confronted during a live stream about her assault on Clark, Mabrey's response was telling, "Damned if I do, damned if I don't." This wasn't an apology. It was a defiant declaration that she felt justified in her actions. Mabrey's family even celebrated her assault on social media, with her sister posting a video captioned, "Another day of us watching Marina do crazy shit while their mother cheered in the background." This isn't competitive fire, it's a celebration of violence that has no place in professional sports. The Connecticut Sun organization's response was equally disgraceful, with head coach Rachid Mezyan defending Mabrey by claiming, "She just tried to be between two players." This is the kind of gaslighting that would make an abusive spouse proud, reframing a deliberate assault as peacemaking while ignoring the video evidence that shows Mabrey's clear intent to harm.
Y'all love that shit in the NBA though. It'd be cool when the dudes do it, but y'all soft. Y'all are so soft. I don't care what nobody said though. You go for somebody's neck and don't even go for the ball. This ain't basketball no more. Y'all wanna play football? Let's play football. Y'all, JC is taking care of. JC held her own for real. JC held her own. The fight was forced.
Okay, let's move on.
No, let's not. If somebody, less than a minute to go, you taking a layup thinking sweet, and somebody come for your neck, the ball is extended here, somebody come for your neck, what are we talking about? Just know y'all are delusional. Just know y'all are sick in the head.
Through all of this chaos, corruption, and institutional failure, Caitlin Clark continues to do what she's always done. Let her basketball do the talking. While Marina Mabrey plots her next assault and Commissioner Engelbert practices her next non-responses, Clark dropped 32 points, 7 three-pointers, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds in her return from injury. Clark's response to the Marina Mabrey incident was everything you'd expect from a true professional. No social media campaigns, no victim narratives, no months-long grievance tours. Just basketball, pure and simple. It's almost like she understands that the best response to attempted intimidation is to be so dominant that everything else becomes background noise. The most striking aspect of Clark's handling of this situation is her complete refusal to be drawn into the drama that the league seems determined to create around her. While other players turn routine basketball plays into federal cases, Clark responds to actual assaults by dropping logo threes and putting up MVP numbers.
Caitlin Clark definitely being the biggest driver. No questions asked. We're in Indianapolis. Like, what she does, she sells out more than, like, yes. Morgan Wallen, Taylor Swift. There's a couple people that sell out everywhere, okay? Caitlin Clark sells out everywhere. I mean, she is a bona fide superstar. Obviously, a lot of eyes. A lot of new eyes, I think, on the W, which is good for the league as a whole. And I think everybody's thinking, like, well, they're treating Caitlin different. And I think if you listen to the people that are in the W, now, granted, obviously, it has been absurd to watch every single thing that they've done to Caitlin. I mean, last year, in between free throws, girl goes over and they say this.
The Marina Mabrey incident has crystallized everything wrong with the WNBA under Kathy Engelbert's leadership. A league that claims to be professional allows players to assault its biggest star with minimal consequences. A commissioner who talks about integrity protocols presides over referee bribery scandals. A media environment that claims to support women's basketball actively undermines the player who has done more for the sport than anyone in its history. Pat McAfee's destruction of Marina Mabrey wasn't just about one incident. It was about calling out a system that has lost its way. When the most prominent defender of women's basketball is a former NFL punter rather than the league's own commissioner, you know the system is broken beyond repair. The WNBA stands at a crossroads. They can continue down the path of corruption, incompetence, and institutional failure that has characterized Engelbert's tenure, or they can remember that professional sports leagues exist to showcase athletic excellence, not to serve as platforms for social engineering and personal vendettas. If you enjoyed leaving a like and subscribing, more videos are on the screen now.